This is Memoirs of a Renaissance Man. My name is David Ahearn. Memoir number 49. This is a passage from my new novella, Quietude. Ma dies. This is love, to fly forward towards a secret sky, to cause 100 veils to fall each moment, first to let go of life, finally to take a step without feet. Ma was sick. Rumi knew this even before her mother did. Energetically, Rumi could tell that Ma was not herself. She was listless and lacked the spark that once glimmered in her eyes. Rumi hadn't seen Ma look this way since the days when Jules failed to return from the sea. A slight cough followed, appearing out of nowhere. It was the kind of cough one tries to hide, hoping not to draw attention to it. Ma would cough slightly and then clear her throat, telling Rumi there was too much dust in the air. Rumi knew otherwise. Rumi tried to talk to her about her declining health, but Ma was always quick to say she felt fine and there was no need to worry. As the days passed into weeks and then months, the cough grew more persistent and Ma found it more and more difficult to hide it. Finally, Rumi could take no more. Ma, you're sick and you need to go see a doctor, Rumi pleaded. There's no need for a doctor, Rumi. It's just a cold. You've been coughing since winter, Rumi replied. Ma acknowledged Rumi was right, but facing her illness felt heavy. The mere notion of being unwell too burdensome. The prospect of illness forced her to grapple with the inevitable reality of mortality. Death, a topic Ma avoided, held an unsettling fear. In a rare moment of vulnerability, she confessed this to Rumi. I'm afraid to die, my child, Ma confessed. I don't want to leave you behind. Who will take care of you? I used to think I breathed myself, Ma, Rumi explained, and then I realized that the earth breathed me. I learned that I actually don't do anything. Ma didn't understand what Rumi was implying. She chose to sit silently. There's no need to worry about me, Ma, Rumi said. The earth will always breathe me until I no longer need to breathe. I have all that I need. This did nothing to comfort Ma. She still feared death. She still feared leaving Rumi alone. Dying isn't scary, Rumi said. Not living is scary. Sometimes the only way Rumi knew how to express herself was to write in her little red book. She knew Ma was afraid, but for her, she knew life was eternal. Something inside of her understood that what was once created could never perish. It would last forever. She knew Ma could leave her in physical form only, so she wasn't scared. She reached for her little red book and wrote, "Don't grieve. Anything you lose comes around in another form." Ma wanted to believe her. Her daughter was wise, but she was young, and Ma thought there was no way she could know anything about death. She continued to ignore her cough, and it wasn't long before Ma was bedridden. While Ma convalesced, Rumi immersed herself in the sanctity of her thoughts and her little red book. She wasn't sad. She maintained her sense of wonder, knowing death was only a transition to a more glorious state of being. Her goal was to get Ma to understand this. Rumi sat by her side each morning and each evening, holding her hand and reading from her little red book. It was Rumi who became Ma's Sherpa in death, leading her to the next stage of her evolution. Ma took comfort in knowing that Rumi was by her side. In one passage, Rumi wrote, which she read aloud to Ma, it became especially comforting to her ailing mother, this is love, to fly forward to a secret sky, to cause 100 veils to fall each moment. First, to let go of life, finally, to take a step without feet. The passage soothed Ma's soul, guiding her to a space of acceptance that her life was reaching its conclusion. Her fear melted away, making room for a profound sense of awe. Ma's decline came quickly, and Rumi prepared for her to pass to the great beyond. Many memories fluttered back to Rumi in the waning days of Ma's life. She thought back to the day in the market when she felt like she'd lost Ma, when she sat down and cried. She remembered Jules finding her and reuniting her with her mother. She remembered the sadness that Ma felt when Jules eventually disappeared from her life. The chapters of her mother's life had been laid bare for the world to see, and soon Ma would no longer be with her. Near the end, her mother made a request. Promise me that you will share your little red book with the world, she asked, her spirit at peace now. It will be a guide for those making their way in the dark. Rumi smiled and nodded at Ma. She would share her little red book with the world. Ma died early one morning as the sun was about to crest over the horizon. Her passing was gentle, and Rumi held her hand as she took her last breath. The moment Ma passed, Rumi picked up her little red book and wrote, You have within you right now everything you need to deal with whatever the world can throw at you. Rumi was alone now. For more, go to daviddanielbooks.com.